Something I see very common when I'm in the kitchen, when other friends or my family views me in the kitchen, they're like, "Oh man, this is so difficult. How do you do it?" Like that type of stuff. And honestly, I never really thought about it because it just seems so second nature. Because I went to culinary school, I've been in the kitchen for so long. I just never really thought about it to the point where I really had to think about how difficult it was. But I know that it can be, and it still is sometimes because cooking ain't easy, even though it can be all fun and games in the TV shows and whatnot, but far from it. Being in the kitchen is, I want people to enjoy cooking. That's the reason I cook, because I have fun doing it. So I want you to enjoy it too, and to you have fun. It needs to be, I'm gonna show you how easy it is to be in the kitchen and easy it is to just make something and have fun. The first step to having an easier time in the kitchen is actually before you even enter it. So it's actually, you need to have a game plan before you enter the kitchen. For example, what I mean by that is to have a mental thought process of what you're gonna do before you even enter there. For example, you know how when you have like a strategy meeting before a game in like football or basketball, you talk to your coach, you talk to other players about what you're gonna do. You're gonna have to do that exact same thing in a kitchen. You might think, oh no, no, it's just cooking. Just walk in, look around, and find something to cook. No, you have to know what's in your kitchen. You have to know what ingredients you're gonna do before you even get there. So even if it's just a 5-minute brainstorm, or you look online for your recipe 1,000 times, just know what you're doing before you enter in the kitchen, so that when you get there, you're not confused. Like, I couldn't tell you how many times I see people just blank around, just walk around, do nothing in the kitchen because all they're doing is just thinking as they go. And that leads to something we call yo-yo cooking, which is like walking back and forth, looking for an ingredient, looking for another ingredient, which I know many of you do. So again, that's what happens when you don't stay organized. Just stay organized in the kitchen, and we're all guilty of this. So just learn. You'll learn with time. Now the next step is to stay organized. Staying organized in the kitchen is so important because your mind needs to know what you're doing before you even do it, if that makes any sense at all. But you need, in order to properly be organized, you need to make sure that everything is in its proper container. You put stuff back as soon as you use it, and that everything's measured out as you need. So say I'm making rice or something. I want I don't want my big container of rice on the counter. I want the exact amount of rice that I'm gonna use in a container while I put my original rice container away. The same with the water, the same with the salt, same with the butter from adding it. I want everything to be organized as soon as I need it, because I just want to add it to the pot. I don't want to think about measuring and then I spill something and then the pot's still hot and everything's gonna burn and ruin. That's what happens when you're not organized. You really want to keep everything there as you need it. And also an important part of that is to be clean. Stay clean as you go. So if you finish using something, put it in the sink. If you messed up something on the counter, wipe it off immediately and just go from there. So, and that's pretty important, because just organization is everything, no matter where you go. And the third and final step, it is just to be confident. Like, I know that sounds a bit goofy, but I believe that being confident in the kitchen is like one of the most important things you can do. Just n- Even if you don't think you can do it, you can do it. Because if you're not confident, you're gonna feel like, oh, maybe I'm doing this wrong, maybe I'm doing that wrong, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, and that's gonna make you panic up and freeze when you shouldn't be frozen, when you should be doing what you're doing and you know what you're doing. So if you need to read your recipe while you're cooking, do it. No one's gonna criticize you for doing that. You don't need to know everything. No one knows everything. I don't know everything. And like you don't need to know the exact recipe off your head. If you have to look up like something's 50 grams, then look it up. Ain't nobody, like nobody's gonna remember that, oh, I need 50 grams of paprika to 55 grams of Dijon mustard. Like, come on now. So if the important part is that you're learning as you cook. So don't worry about not knowing something specifically. Just as you learn, as you do something, you're gonna get better at it and better at it. So keep cooking and keep having fun in the kitchen. Then you'll eventually be more confident in order to do more things that you enjoy. Yeah, guys. Those are the 3 simple tips that you need to have an easier time in the kitchen. Because I know a lot of people talk about, oh, it's a bit too hard to be in the kitchen. Oh, I don't want to cook because when I could buy something for easier, I could buy something outside that's, you know, quicker and cheaper. But cooking at home is so much easier than anyone thinks, because you can easily find something you want to cook and eat it and season it to your tasting, so you can really enjoy your food when you do that. So again, that's it. I don't want to bore you guys any longer. Have a great day and bon appetit.